The two biggest days of the year of a cowboy is, of course, sale day and branding day. Branding day is when the calves get their vaccination shots, the bull calves are cut, and the ranches apply its brand. There are several different reasons to brand your livestock. Proof of ownership, and of course to promote your product. With cattle theft on the rise, a brand is still considered proof of ownership. Today, we're branding in Oklahoma. Welcome to Stuart Ranch. Let's roll.
We take care of our resources, our land, our cattle, and everything that we've been given responsibility for very, very seriously, because that's how we've stayed in business. And we've been in business since 1868. And I think that we are the best managers of our resources.
Hey, cattle. Hey, hip. Hey, hip.
Today we left out about 5:30 and we all met at our headquarters camp, and then we drove out to our Cosby pens and we all got together and got ready to trot out, and Bob Benton, our cow boss, led the drive, and we got around the cows and brought them down the road and got them in the pens.
Well, it takes about half a day to brand anywhere from 150 to 200 calves.
Get us ready. What our whole day is, gathering cattle, sorting, branding, what we're giving them, kind of walk us through the whole day.
Well, we'll gather a pasture, get them penned, strip the cows and calves, get a count on the cows, make sure we got everything. And then when we work the calves, we'll count all the calves, and after we castrate them, we'll count all the bags, and we'll know how many steers and heifers we got.
Yep. Got him. That's handy. Hey, big mama. Hit, 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 hit. Hey, cow. Find a hole. Hey, 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 find a hole. Hey, mama, cow. Hey, 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 hey. Well, we finally got all the cows gathered and got the calves sorted off, and now just kind of getting set up to do the branding.
I guess not a lot's changed here. It's, you know, they use wood fire. You know, at home, a lot of people, you know, they'll use propane. The wood fire is about as original as you can get.
Them things that go good.
How tight you want it in there? Right there work? So all the bulls get cut today. All of them get all their shots.
Yes,
Everything gets branded as well.
Everything gets branded. The bull calves get earmarked. We do not earmark the heifers. That way we can, at weaning time, it's easier to count them.
Right. You can just count them by looking at their head.
Yes, sir.
The cow boss, who is at these pens, would have been Bob Benton today. He will designate 2 draggers, and they will go each to their side of the fire. Behind them will be their ground crew. The calves are dragged to the flankers. The flankers throw the calf down on the ground, and there is an art to that.
I think a lot of flanking is just technique, and when you work with somebody so much, and somebody that's flanked a lot of calves, they know that technique and know how to get in timing with each other, and it makes it so much easier. And when those big calves come up, it's not. I've known some really strong guys that have trouble because they don't ever get in timing with each other, and the technique might be there, but the timing's not. Clay and I have a rhythm, and we kind of know I know what he's thinking, and he knows what I'm thinking, and it just works good together. I mean, those big calves are hard to hold, but sometimes it's a little easier if you just know where to be and what to hold.
The men dragging the calves, they stay on their side of the fire. The flankers stay on their side of the fire, and you don't cross. And the reasons for those things are really so no one gets hurt. You've got needles and knives and hot irons going different directions. If everyone stays in their place, the opportunities for things to go very smooth generally do. Because branding is so important, the gentlemen that brand here are very experienced, and because you need to put the brand on in the exact same spot, it's very critical to have someone branding the calves that is well versed in what he is doing and able to apply the right amount of pressure and know when to take that iron off. We brand primarily for protection from theft, and in Oklahoma at this point in time, it seems to be escalating. And I think as cattle prices increase, that the opportunity for cattle theft is also increasing. Branding identifies your cattle. That way, if you buy anything from us, with the 7S on the left hip, you know that what it is, and we will represent it. You rope 2 feet, that's very easy on the calf to pull him out that way. The guys that are roping are very careful with those calves in the way that they rope them. If they get a front leg, they won't bring them. They really strive to get 2 feet. That's the easiest way on the flankers, it's the easiest way on the calf. My philosophy on this whole thing is that you can take a horse to the branding pen or on a drive and go show him in Reno. My son Robert drug calves today on a 3-year-old that's going to Reno.
I get to take them out and give them a job and make them go do something, and it changes their whole thought process up of having to be in that arena all day long. And that's just, it's a break for them. And to me, that helps get them so much more broke. And if I think they're broke enough and ready to drag on, I will. And it just furthers their training.
I think that's a credit to our program because that's what we seek to develop. And yes, the show horses are a very important part of this program, but I want to make sure that show horse can go do a job every day. Reelgun was a super horse at the AQHA World Show, but he drug a lot of calves. Our protocol involves Enforce 3 and 2 implants, one for respiratory and one for foot rot and pink eye. And we also give a black leg, as well as a multi-min shot. So the cattle get several vaccinations, but it allows us to not have to doctor them. And pink eye and foot rot are big problems here. Pink eye that has come across to us is not caused by environment, and so we have worked with the veterinarian very carefully to develop vaccines that will keep the pink eye under control. What we do is in the best interest of the calf and in the best interest of the consumer. By using all the vaccination protocol that we use, we try to guarantee that that calf is going to have a healthy life. It would be just the same as vaccinating your child. The pink eye, granted, is not life-threatening, but it can cause blindness, and it also, those cattle don't eat as well when their eyes are irritated, and that calf is healthy. He eats, he gains weight, and when we wean him, we give him a second round of shots which boost his immunity level, and hopefully he goes to the feedlot and does very well for them. I think the value is our profit, the value is for a good product for the consumer, and the value for the calf is that he gets to stay healthy throughout his life. We choose to crop an ear on our steers, and the reason behind that is we can sort steers and heifers a lot quicker at weaning. It just takes a lot less time, and so it's easier on the calves. The less time that you have to put them in a stressful position is easier on everybody. So you can see that cropped ear coming to you, and steers go one way and heifers go the other.
Hey, look ahead.
We spray all the cattle at this time of year every time we have them in the pens, which isn't truly very often, but we'll spray for ticks and flies, and obviously the flies not going to last long, but we have a problem with ticks, and this will knock a lot of those ticks off. We try to do things in the best interest of the cattle, the land, and the people that operate it. You have to work as a group and as a team that's always been our strong point, I felt like, is because we all work together so well. The way we do things is the way that works for us. It may not work for everybody else, but these things that we have put together over the years are things that we have found work for us more efficiently than maybe doing some things a different way.
Whew. Good stuff, huh?
Yes, sir.
190 head of calves, branded and worked. So how much of what you guys do today is because of generations before did it, and how many of it is, you know, things you just do it because that's the best way it works?
I think it's the best way it works. I know there's other ways to do it, but this is what works best for us. I mean, you're getting to use your horses, and guys riding young horses, put miles on them, and drag some calves on them, it just makes them better.
Well, today we're working 190-something head of cattle. How many different locations do you have to go work at? I mean, you can't have a hydraulic chute in a shed in every location
No,
that
sir.
you're at.
No, sir. We have about 4 sets of pens here on the ranch, and we've branded done 2 bunches in this set of pens, and we'll brand a couple more bunches in North Camp. We've branded, tomorrow will be 4 bunches up there. 8 bunches of cattle is what we're going to brand this spring.
Well, you know,
About 1,200.
it's pretty cool because even this morning we're saddling up before the sun's coming up, and you know, I meet guys from all different ranches around. How much camaraderie, I guess, is there in you know, going to different ranches and branding?
Oh, it's a big deal. I mean, everybody enjoys it. You get to go everywhere. I mean, we got people that's 3 hours away, and some people that's 10 miles down the road, you know. And fortunate to have good help and dependable help, and everybody works together, and it makes it real easy.
Branding day, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. We all get together, and we have a good time, but it's serious. We're not out there messing around, and it's not ha-ha time. It's work and get the job done and get it done to the best of our abilities. And the way we run this crew, we can run through there and brand 200 head in a short period of time, and nobody gets hurt and nobody gets in wrecks.
It's a good time of year. There's a lot of fellowship that goes on, and we have a really, really good crew. And having the opportunity to work with the men that are here, and everything just goes perfectly smooth. Everybody knows what they're supposed to do. Everybody's in the right place at the right time. It's a treat. It is a treat to get to work in a situation like that.
I think it all goes back to a way of life. I mean, I don't think we look at it as a job. It's a way to take, I don't want to use the word hobby, but something that you love to do and get paid to do it. I think with all that being said, yeah, we get beat up and we're dirty and sore, but it's what we love to do. It's fun, and we enjoy, you know, the camaraderie with the guys and hanging out, and we get a paycheck at the end of the day, so you can't ask for anything better.
The way we've always done it, and it may be the old-fashioned way, but with the right crew, you can run so many calves through. There's, I think, less stress on them. We're lucky enough we get a lot of day workers that come help, and they've been coming for a while, so we all work good together, and it means a lot for them to want to keep coming back because they enjoy it and they like to come back, and that means a whole lot to us.
My son will be the 7th generation on the ranch, and it's kind of weird for me to say that, but I mean, I'm beyond excited to have him grow up in this lifestyle. I mean, I think the world's getting so technologically advanced, and it's just a continual hustle and bustle and try to, you know, get ahead, which isn't a bad thing, but, you know, growing up out here, he has that chance to go get dirty and be outside and be with livestock, and I mean, that's the way I grew up, and I plan on letting my son grow up the same way and teaching him those values. I mean, I think you learn more about what respect in life, respect for your elders, respect for everything by growing up in the country, because, I mean, you're force-fed it from day one.
We do everything we can to keep everything safe and healthy because there is a lot of money floating in there. And I mean, that's what we live on. That's what this ranch functions on, is those calves and those cows. And if they're not healthy, then we're not making a living.
Cattle are worth a lot of money today. They haven't always been worth, obviously, what they are today, but it is a big payday. Today, 5-weight steers are bringing upwards of $2. So just right off the top of your head, that's over $1,000 for a 5-weight steer. Replacement heifers, upwards of $2,000. So everything we have is extremely valuable, and it is in our best interest to take very, very good care of it. That way the consumer, who eventually is going to buy that product that we're raising and taking care of as a calf, is getting the best beef in the world.
There's got to be a pretty large percentage of the world that doesn't know where hamburger comes from, or milk, or where their food comes from other than the grocery store. So to be able to provide that to America, to the world, is a pretty big thing, or it's a huge thing. I mean, without farmers and ranchers, we're not going to eat. And so to be able to provide food for, you know, everybody is a pretty satisfying thing.